Hello everyone, it is 2025 and so I realized that in all my years of doing traditional art in general, probably almost 10 years now, that I've never done certain things. One of them was actually do color swatches of the traditional media I have. So as you see here, I have a variety of watercolors and acrylic gouache and my Posca markers and my Prismacolor color pencils. And it's like I've had the longest one I've had, I believe, is the Mission Gold watercolors and Prismacolors. And for the Prismacolors, I've avoided using it until like really late last year. And I was like, I've had you for almost a decade and I don't even know who you are. So along with the Prismacolors, I did color swatches for every single one of my traditional medias. Well, not every single one, the ones that I used, the ones that I listed, because I also have like soft pastels that I do not use and do not wish to. And as simple as you would think it would be to think, actually having these color swatches of all of them actually makes me feel a lot more close to the traditional mediums that I have, makes me less inclined to buy things and more in fact wanting to explore what to do with them. That being said, so for the longest time I've wanted to actually try handmade watercolors, or like watercolors that are made by people who make them batch at home as opposed to just commercial pigments like the watercolor companies I listed before. And in this time, I really wanted to choose like really spacey colors. So when I was looking at their listings, I was really excited and I was like, what the heck? Okay, let's go ahead and order them. So first up, I ordered these mini pans from MostlyFeralArts. And honestly, I wasn't expecting mini pans to be so mini, but I mean, if you know anything about watercolor, you know a little goes a long way. And what I found really nice is we have a little magnet so I can actually stick it to my watercolor palette, which are also metal. And I really wanted to get a set of like nighttime shiny colors. So this is Astro Twilight, this is Atlas, and this is Dark Matter. And from EmberLilyCreations, we got Galaxy Navy and this holographic fairy dust. And these also come with magnets in the bottom. Point out things like magnets because you're gonna want to have it like stick and magnetize if you're gonna use a palette for travel or anything, it just so it doesn't slip and slide. So it's really nice that the magnets aren't there. After letting the colors activate for a little bit with some water, time to do the swatches. So upon doing swatches for Atlas after Astro Twilight, I was kind of confused because the colors I got don't particularly match with the colors in the product listing, and of course color shifting watercolors kind of affects it, but it's not as blue. It's like at best it's a dark blue, but at most it's just kind of purple. Especially when it dries, it looks very similar to Astro Twilight, only by a slight hue. And I even went to a separate page, cleaned my brush to make sure I wasn't tarnishing the Atlas color, but no, it just looks like that. And honestly, I was kind of bummed by it. I found Ember Lily's Galaxy Navy and Fairy Dust to be a lot more transparent than I expected. Like, of course, watercolor is a fluid medium. It just, from the listing pictures, I expected them to be more full and opaque versus the color just being solely dependent on the glitter. And here are the color swatches. As you can see, they all have a specific shine and shimmer to them and their color shift, so as you can see. And I feel like Astro Twilight and Atlas were really close, Atlas being a little cooler than Astro Twilight. But, I mean, even though I expected like more variation, they're very cool. And here's just a little more effort to show you guys the colors because it's really hard to capture it on camera. So, yeah. And so, of course, I put these watercolors to action. I chose two different characters to paint with. The first one I chose was Giratina from Pokemon, and the second being Soundwave and from Transformers Prime. I chose both of these characters because they're kind of like very mysterious, standoffish characters. Giratina is one of my favorite Pokemon, and Giratina being this like very powerful figure from a very strange and weird to think about world, combining that with the DS game where you can give Giratina a cupcake or a muffin. I don't know what game that was. I thought that was really cute, so of course I wanted to draw that. This will not be the only time you see me drawing Giratina with a cupcake, muffin, whatever it's supposed to be. I just drew the Neopets Space Fairy one. For Soundwave, I want to do more like a loose gesture of him as opposed to like a one-to-one accurate piece of him as well. I had to just use black and purple for his colors, so I'm not going for total TFP accuracy epic art ever. And alright, here are the final pieces. And generally for metallic or shiny watercolor, you want to just use them as accents as opposed to paint. So I did two different images here. I drew like my sitting cutie plushie of Giratina with a Neopet Space Fairy cupcake while using the metallic watercolors as accent, meaning I put the light layer of watercolor and then put the metallics on top. And as you can see, the most prevalent is in the light blue here. The darker color is a little harder to see, I think, but there we go. And then we got this piece where, like I said, usually you'd want to use these for accent pieces, but I really did want to see if I could try to make something just purely using these colors without any other watercolors at all. So this is comprised of mostly of the, well, not mostly, it's going to be like all of the metallic watercolors that I bought. I think it was probably not the best way to go about these because I really had to dig into these watercolors as much as I like the concept of them in order to do this. Like I had to put like multiple layers of this blue galaxy, multiple layers of the Atlas, Dark Matter, and Astro watercolor paints, and yeah, I felt like it was way too many layers I had to do with it. But I think that's more on me as opposed to on the homemade watercolor makers, just because you're not generally going to use them as a solid color fill like this. And I got kind of tired of doing so many layers, so many reactivating the watercolors, because once I'd activate them, they would just, and because you would keep lifting up the former layers and the glitter would go everywhere and it looks really messy. But anyway, I still wanted to give it a go. So as you can see, here is the color shifting. I did relent and use some of my Mission Golds up here for some of Soundwave's colors over here, just as I used the Mission Golds over here for Giratina. But yeah, so it was a very limited color palette, but I wanted to give it a go. And like I said, I would not paint like this. I would just layer these metallic watercolors. Also, I will note that the glitter of these, it does come off. Can you see it? They do come off. I don't know if like a fixative would make them not come off. I don't have fixative, as I usually generally don't think to use that with watercolors, but maybe perhaps if I use glittery watercolors, I should consider it. Yeah, because this thing, it's like all the glitter, you know what I'm saying? All the glitter is everywhere, but I don't totally mind, but just being aware, just to be aware, if you use these, glitter galore. And so I guess final thoughts on these colors that I bought for MostlyFeralArts and EmberLily, as my first time trying homemade watercolors. I've gotta say, they're really cute colors. I love the shine on them. I'm definitely gonna use them in my art pieces, but I can't deny I'm a low-key a little disappointed, and just because the pictures online looked a lot more vibrant versus these, where I can definitely tell these are more accent colors more than like solid fills that I would use, unless I really want to dig really hard into the paint like I had to do with these. But I can't really fault anyone for that because these are natural. They don't use the same binders and ingredients as like commercially watercolor do. And like I said, they do add like a nice shimmer and stuff. It just really needed a lot of work through to work with these. And yeah, I mean, I would definitely go buy some more handmade watercolors if I had like the budget to do so. Because I just wanted to try out these spacey ones. I found Astro Twilight and Atlas a little too close to my liking, but it's okay. In the end, I think they're very pretty, and I always would go for like supporting small businesses, especially that of the arts and paint, because honestly that's really cool being able to make paint like this. So can't say I'm mad. I definitely will use these whenever I do watercolor commissions or things like that. So yeah, all right, those are the pieces again, and of course shiny, 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 shiny. And so yeah, that's the video, and thank you for watching. Yeah.